preschoolers. Today I have a story, kind of like Teacher Tracy's story about giving a mouse a cookie, but this one is if you give a moose a muffin. And it's by Laura Jaffe-Numeroff and illustrated by Felicia Bond. What do you think would happen if you give a moose a muffin? Should we find out? Let's see. If you give a moose a muffin, there's the moose. He'll want some jam to go with it. So you'll bring out some of your mother's homemade blackberry jam. So the moose wants jam with his muffin. When he's finished eating the muffin, he'll want another, and another, and another. I think he likes muffins. When they're all gone, he'll ask you to make more. You'll have to go to the store to get some muffin mix. He'll want to go with you. When he opens the door and feels how chilly it is, he'll ask to borrow a sweater. When he puts the sweater on, he'll notice one of the buttons is loose. Looks like he's having trouble putting on that sweater. He'll ask for a needle and thread. He'll start sewing to put that button back on. The button will remind him of the puppets his grandmother used to make. I guess his grandmother used buttons to make puppets. So he'll ask for some old socks. He'll make sock puppets. Oh, that's kind of fun to do. Have you ever made a sock puppet? Let's see what the moose's sock puppet looks like. Oh, look at that. When they're done, he'll want to put on a puppet show. So it looks like he made a moose puppet out of a sock and maybe a mouse puppet out of a sock. And is going to put on a show. He'll need some cardboard and paints for the puppet show. Then he'll ask you to help make the scenery. Oh, they're painting the cardboard to make the scenery or the background for the puppet show. When the scenery is finished, he'll get behind the couch because you have to hide down below something and have your puppets up, kind of like we do when we have pretend puppet shows at school. So he's hiding behind the scenery and he's doing a show with his puppets. But his antlers will stick out. Oh, you can see the puppets, but you can see his antlers too from behind the couch. So he'll ask for something to cover them up. You'll bring him a sheet from your bed. When he sees the sheet, he'll remember he wants to be a ghost for Halloween. He'll try it on and shout, "Boo!" It'll scare him so much, he'll knock over the paints. Uh-oh. Looks like the paint spilled. So he'll use the sheet to clean up the mess, and then he'll ask for some soap to wash it out. He'll probably want to hang the sheet up to dry. So they wash the paint out of the sheet. Now it's wet. They're going to hang it up to dry. He'll go outside to put it on the clothesline. When he's out in the yard, he'll see your mother's blackberry bushes. So there are blackberries growing on those bushes. And those are the berries that his mother used for seeing the blackberries will remind him of her jam. She used the blackberries to make jam. And he'll probably ask you for some. So he wants more blackberry jam. And chances are, if you give him the jam, what will he want with it? Do you remember? he'll want a muffin to go with it. And then they start all over again with the muffin, which started things in the first place, and the jam. Well, today I thought it would be fun to make moose antlers. So I'm going to show you how we can make some moose antlers that we can wear. I took a brown paper bag because the moose is brown and his antlers look like they're kind of gray brown. And I laid my hand on the bag and I traced all around it with a pencil. So you might need some help with somebody tracing your hand, or maybe you can trace your hand by yourself. So I traced my hand and I'm going to cut it out. And my hand will be one set of antlers for my moose antlers. So if you notice in the picture, our moose has antlers on both sides of his head. So I will need 2 hands, and one of them I already made. So I'm going to cut this one out, and then I'll show you cutting around the fingers. That's what takes a little while, doesn't it? Cutting around all the fingers when you trace your hand. And the thumb. Cut. And you may need a little help cutting out around your fingers too. So this might be a part that you need a grown-up or an older brother and sister to help you with, tracing and cutting out your hand. And that is just fine if you need help. And then here's one I made earlier. So I have 2 hands to be my antlers. And then I also cut out of my grocery bag 2 long strips of paper that I stapled together. And this will be the headband that I'll put around my head for my antlers, so I can wear my antlers. So I'm going to take the 2 hands that I cut out, and I have my glue ready. So I'm going to put some glue on the bottom part of my hands, and then I'm going to stick it right here like this. Oops! Maybe I need more glue. Put a little more glue on there. And then I'm going to stick it right there. So there's the antler for one side. And then I'll take the other hand that I cut out, put some more glue on, and I'm going to stick that one on the other side, like this. And then, oops, they do not want to stay on. You know what I might try? I have a stapler here. So if you're having trouble gluing, you could try tape or a staple to help keep your hands on the headband. So I'm going to staple this one on. And then I'm also, there, that's a little bit better. I'm also going to staple the back of my headband, and then we'll see if it will fit around my head. One more staple. All right, should we try it out? See how it looks? And there are my moose antlers. Looks like that one might be a little higher than this one. So that's something that you can try at home. All you need is a grocery bag and some glue, or if you have tape or a staple, that might work a little bit better. And a grocery bag and your scissors and maybe a pencil to help you trace your hand. And then you can make moose antlers just like I did. And you can pretend that you're the moose in the story. Have fun with your moose antlers, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.